Man, V2 drama is like the gift that just keeps on taking. So, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring, my relatively small hat, into this drama. I'm diving in head first. You know, so who is Bao the Whale? Well, I remember her for being the one who pissed her eyes about the whole Cinder drama. You know, she could a couple hours of her crying about how she was, effectively Cinder. Do I don't need to rehash all that. Let's just say she's a very business savvy individual. You know, she climbed over the corpses of other people in the community to climb her way to the top, only to then come back and now everyone's acting like nothing happened. The what I knew was going to happen. So, Bao pissed her eyes. Everyone had their second of punching on Cinder just for clout. You know, in the industry, like, this is how they act. You know, you gotta understand that how people act online is completely different than how people act in reality. Like, you want to think it's a one for one comparison because you don't really know any other interaction, but it's not. So she pissed her eyes, everyone sympathy. She got a lot of people, on her channel, those they had those that liked her doing the ooh woo kissy kissy, wearing a provocative VTube avatar to attract that type of clientele. But here we are, and this is in response to a bigger thing that I need to talk about. But I don't know. That's just, I'll talk about that big thing eventually. Oh god, it's like fucking 11 p.m. So, if you are an up and coming female content creator with a small but growing audience and a much larger and successful male content creator approaches you out of nowhere and showers you with attention on stream and DMs, etc., don't walk, run. So, what people are having a like at first, people were like, okay, fair enough, but what people are getting mad about, at least the problem I have with this is that's not how people act. Like, you network with other people that might not be much larger, but around the amount of subscribers you have, you know. Just because I don't include every single nuance, exception, possibility, and variation, does that mean we're not still having the same conversation? Stay safe, gang. In retrospect, it doesn't feel bad, but if you are a female content creator and a successful male creator, like, what? Why not any successful creator? Like, you've been in controversy with other VTubers. Like, you just came out from pissing your eyes about Cinder using her manipulative tactics on you. But you're stating specifically male content creators. It's like, why? Like, but this is not why people are mad. What people are mad is the doubling down. Now, I'm going to start by preferencing the fact that if you do harm to people online, like individuals, apologize to those individuals in private. Never apologize to the mob of Redditors online because they're just out for blood. They don't care what's right and wrong. They want the lightning rod for them to pour their bad chakra and manifest their vindictiveness towards. Like I can't tell you how many times online where, this hate mob of activists came after the individual, and at first you defend them, but then they apologize thinking that's going to change anything, and then people just come after them even more, right? Or people show a slight bit of emotion, and then they just come after them even more. Like online, Net just always double down. Like you see this with Hassan. He doubled down, and you know what? I'm going to say he did the right decision. I don't like him. I was on the hate train. Like, I walked outside and seen the hate mob with pitchforks and torches, and they're like, yeah, we're going towards Hassan shocking his dog. And I'm like, well, fuck, bro. I'm going to join you. Where's the cookies? And if he was to apologize, people would just keep attacking him. And he knows this, so he didn't apologize. He doubled the fuck down. This is how you need to act on the internet. I think Bao's doing the right thing. So let's watch the video, right? Let's watch the video, and I'll give more of my opinion on this situation.
I had a lot of strong feelings about this. And to the people that are trying
What the fuck is this?
to dilute what I'm saying to fit their own, like, stupid-ass anti-woman, I fucking hate, you're misandrous, I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. Go fix your receding hairline. You ever heard of minoxidil? Yeah, try that, alright? Don't care. Wrap it up. Okay. Hey, man, you're outing yourself, okay? I didn't say anything. You did it yourself.
Instead of giving out...
Okay. Who the fuck is that guy? So, what you see is how you're supposed to act online. You double the fuck down. Now, this pissed people off, right? Because I'm looking back in the Me Too era where the idea to get clout was to look for any large male content creator and try to Me Too them, try to shut them down just so you can climb over them. Like, the thing happened to Angry Joe, right? Angry Joe, like, this woman came to him, right? And she's like, oh, like, showed legitimate interest in his stuff. So they went to TwitchCon together. And he showed her around to, his connections, his friend group, and all of that, And eventually, it went to the hotel, right? They went out to eat. Everything was fine. They went to the hotel. And Angry Joe, being a heterosexual male with a perfectly healthy male testosterone, she, tried to come on him. Because, again, you're a male and a female. Like, this isn't... we're not computers. This isn't, like, there are hormones and chemical reactions happening in you and what she did was she was like, I'm not interested, I have a boyfriend. He's like, okay, so you were using me. And after that, he let her go. He blocked her. He retracted all of his connections. And this woman legitimately started acting like he was trying to coerce her. It's like, okay, a grown-ass human being, a grown woman, wasn't in control of her own actions. Angry Joe was just manipulated like a puppet on strings, manipulating her, even though she came to him, right? And at first, she probably didn't even bring it up, because that's something you bring up immediately. So, and once you bring it up, so it happens in a man's head that, okay, she has a boyfriend, so it's purely cordial. He probably still would have had fun with her, but I'm assuming it never came up until then. And Angry Joe did exactly what he was supposed to do. He was like, oh, this woman's... And Angry Joe, having as much subscribers as he does have, probably has hundreds of women coming after him. Hundreds of women, in his DMs every fucking day. Probably isn't his first rodeo, and he, I guess at the time, wanted a relationship at the time, and then she tried to Me Too him, right? And it's like, if that's what's going to happen, right? If in every situation you gotta act like you're being, you're being public, like you a grown ass woman, right? And this is what pisses me off. So most creators just sort of go around their clique. Everyone knows it's just, it's a business, the business mindset. But you do have situations like at Angry Joe where interaction happened and that interaction was used, and a lot of people went after Angry Joe. So this is why people are looking at this and was like, okay, so what are you trying to say? And we've lived through that era, so if you're being a legitimate misandrist, if I'm to use the logic of the individuals that are going around spotting the sexist, like you are being misandrist, and you are, but you double down because that's what you have to do, and it's odd that you're still trying to point all of this near to Cinders, her group of individuals, her fan base. Yeah, they're very weird. You're still trying to farm that level of clout. And again, Bao, I'm gonna give some advice. You're going to attract a specific group of people online wearing shit like this, and that's fine. Like you're gaining money off the weirdos. You're farming them for clout, but don't then turn around and throw hate back at them. It's like, and it's what stupid logic that if you have a problem with what I said, then you're self-reporting yourself. Like, it's like Andrew Tate being like, oh, well, all women are whores. I don't know if he said that. And then any woman that has a problem with that being like, oh, well, you're self-reporting yourself. What stupid ass, goofy ass logic. And look, I'm gonna be reasonable, right? Because there needs to be a gooner council. We need to I support ethical gooning. If your VTuber comes at you like this, just find other VTubers. Like, don't put your money in the power of the goon towards VTubers that just hate you. Like, I'm gonna be reasonable. I'm not gonna be a Puritan. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you shouldn't do this. I don't give a fuck about the whole moral of it. Just, we need to construct the Gooner Council and be like, okay, just don't goon to her. Find other VTubers, or hell, maybe if you wanna stick it to her, maybe switch teams, like join the red team, like in Halo Combat Evolve, you click the start button and you click to switch teams. If you really want to stick to her and goon to the competitor, that's my advice to the gooners, the people that are treated like the ultimate enemy, the individual that sits in their home, alone and just watch VTubers. They don't go out, okay, maybe they go out, work their 9 to 5, grab their money and spend it towards these individuals like they're being treated. Oh, and they just want to play their games and not have their games reflect retarded fucking ideology. You know, that's the group of people that is like the greatest enemy. You know, I could point out 5, 10, 15 other bad types of individuals. But no, online, it's the gooner. You are the bad guy. So, okay, fine, the gooner's the bad guy, you know. Goon towards the type of content creators that don't hate you. That's my advice. My advice to Bao. Who the fuck is this guy? My advice to Bao. Nah, you're doing the right you need to do. You're doubling down. You said some stupid shit. I think you're probably autistic. You know, a lot of VTube girls are. You know, you came from pissing your eyes and riding one controversy, and now you're in another. Just keep doubling down. Because, hey, you know, if you apologize, people just attack you. You know, this is how the internet works. So don't apologize. Apologize specifically to the individuals you've wronged. And when the mob comes at you, be like, well, fuck off. I already made amends to the people. Get the fuck out of here. Like, no 100, 200, 300 page, fucking 1,000 page Google Doc. Like that you wrote off Chat GPT. Like, get that out of here. I ain't reading all this. What the fuck is this? But anyway, that's what I gotta say about this shit. Peace out.